Hi friends, we are going to read a story. Now this is a story we've already read, so today we're going to reread the story, How Do Dinosaurs Go to School? Now, in this story, we talked about yesterday good ways that we can act at school or bad ways that we cannot act at school. So let's read this book again and you be thinking of which choices are good and which choices are bad. Now, this story is, the author of this story, her name is Jane Yolen, and the illustrator or the person who drew the pictures for this story is Mark Teague. So let's look at this book and see which choices are good and which choices are bad. How does a dinosaur go to school? Does he walk? Does he ride in a busy carpool? Does he drag his long trail? Is he late for the bus? Does he stomp all 4 feet? Does he make a big fuss? Now, do you think that that's good? A good way to act at school or a bad way? If you said bad, I think you're right. When he gets to the school, does he roughhouse and punch? Does he make a quick grab for a classmate's packed lunch? Now, look at the picture. Do you think that he's acting good or bad? I think bad. Does he race up the stairs right ahead of the bell? We've talked about this. We don't run in the hallway, do we? No. Does he interrupt class with his own show and tell? And look at the picture again. We talked about this picture yesterday. Look at this friend. She's trying to tell her friends about her show and tell, but the dinosaur is interrupting her. Does a dinosaur yell? He shouldn't. And when in the classroom, plunked down in his chair, does a dinosaur fidget his tail in the air? I hope not. Does he growl during chalk talks or roar out of turn? Does he make it too hard for others to learn? Do you think he's been a good friend? I don't think so. I don't think that he's thinking about those other friends. I think he's only thinking about himself. Does he stir up the classroom by making a noise? Does he tease all the girls? Does he pick on the boys? No. Now, let's look at these pictures. A dinosaur carefully raises his hand. He helps out his classmates with projects they've planned. Does that look like a good picture that would make other friends happy? I think so. At recess, he plays with a number of friends and growls at the bullies till bullying ends. He tidies his desk, then he leaps out the door. Good work. Good work, little dinosaur. Now, I have made us, and I'm gonna move our camera just a little bit so you friends can see. I've made us a chart. Let me move it just a tad bit so you all can see it really good. There we go. Now, this chart says good versus bad. So we're going to look at good or bad school behavior chart. So this is our book title, How Do Dinosaurs Go to School? And what do you think is going to go here? Good choices, because it makes a teacher happy, or your teacher happy, and it makes your friends happy when we make good, happy choices. Now look at this picture. It's a frowning face, right? And I think that a frowning face would mean that it makes a teacher or your friend sad. So let's look at the pictures in this book, and we'll write down the choices here that are good choices, and we'll write down the choices here that are bad choices. So let's look at this picture. Now, what is he doing in this picture? He's riding on top of a busy car. I don't think any of us are going to do that. We'll move on to the next page. It says, is he late for the bus? Does he stomp on all 4 feet? Does he make a big fuss? Are we going to make a big fuss? That means make a lot of noise and get grumpy and pouty. Are we going to make a big fuss at school? No, I don't think so. Let's write that under sad or bad choices. Making a big fuss. We're not going to do that at school, so let's do like this. All right, so I wrote making a fuss. That's a bad school choice. Now let's go to the next one. Oh, what's he doing in this picture? It looks like he's picking up his friend, and the words say he's punching a friend. And it says that he's trying to take this friend's lunch. We're not going to do any of those things, so we're going to write this under sad. We're going to put punching and taking things that don't belong to us. That's not something we're going to do in class, is it? So I'm going to write taking things that don't belong to us. Now, let me finish writing this. Taking things that don't belong to us. That means that if a friend has something that you want, can you just take it from them because you want it? No, that's not a good way to act at school. It says, does he race up the stairs right ahead of the bell? So he is running in the hallway. Is that something we do? We don't run at school. Only there's one place we can run at school, and where is that? The playground. So I'm going to put running. Looks like there's lots of things that the dinosaur's doing that would make it sad. Making a fuss and punching and taking things that don't belong to us and running. That's not something we do. None of those things are things we do at school. What's he doing here? We talked about this picture. Do you remember the big word? He's interrupting. Do we interrupt? Or when someone else is talking, do we talk over them? No. So I'm going to write that big word, interrupt, under the sad face. Now, let's look at this next picture and see if it's going to be a good one. A good choice or a bad choice. What does it say he's doing? Do you remember? He's got his mouth open really big. He's yelling. Do we yell in our classroom? No. This would be a sad choice. We, in our classroom, instead of yelling, we use our inside voices, right? So I'm going to put yelling under bad classroom choices. Now, let's look at the next one. It says, does he fidget and put his tail in the air? We're not going to fidget, are we? I think we can just write fidget under sad face. Let's see if I can get it to fit up here. That way you all can see it. Because fidget means to move a lot and move around. So that means when we're sitting on the rug and listening to our story or Miss Rachel's talking, that we sit still, crisscross applesauce spoons in the bowl, and we sit still and be a good listener. So we're not going to fidget. This says, does he growl during chalk talks or roar out of turn? So that means that he's not waiting to talk until the teacher's done talking, or maybe he's talking over his friends. So we're gonna put this in the, which one? Happy or sad? We'll put it in the happy, or I'm sorry, the sad. We'll put sad, talking out of turn. All right. Now, let's do this next page. Now, we talked about this page too, remember? He's not thinking about the other friends. He's just thinking about himself. And that kind of goes along with what we already wrote, with interrupting and yelling and talking out of turn. So we'll keep going. And right here, he's making a big noise. We talked about that too, right? Oh, do you remember what he's doing in this picture? He's teasing them. That means he's saying unkind things. So we're not going to say unkind things to our friends, right? So I'll write teasing down there. All right. I'm sorry, you can't see it. Now, let's look at this picture. What's he doing here? He's holding the little girl. What's he doing? He's helping her, right? So is that a bad choice or a good choice? A good choice. So we're going to put it under the smiley face. We're going to write helping. All right. And this says, what's he doing? He's playing with friends. Do you think that's a good choice in class to make, to play with your friends? I think so. Play with friends. I think that would make your friends very happy if you play with them. And it would fill their bucket. All right, let's see at the next page. Do you remember what it says he does? Before he leaves school for the day, what does he do? He tidies his desk. That means he cleans his desk. So a good thing to do at school is to clean up. When we're in centers or after we've completed an activity, it's always a good idea to help clean, right? And this says, good work, little dinosaur. So these are the good things that we should do in school. And I'm sure if we were together and talking, we would come up with more things good that we could do in school, right? Now I'm going to move you around a little bit so you can see. Let's go to our next slide. I wanted to show you all this picture. Look at it for just a second. What are these people doing? How is the man helping the woman? Do you see that? have this picture card here too. How's he helping this woman? Well, he is helping her by being considerate and helping her up the hill. Do you see she's climbing up a hill and he's being considerate and helping her up. Now, this hill right here looks like it's hard to climb. And it looks like the woman's carrying a really heavy backpack. And it looks like her friend understands that she needs some help, right? He does the considerate thing. Say considerate, that's our wow word. Considerate thing and offers to help her. Have you ever been considerate to a friend? How were you considerate? What did you do that was considerate? Now, let's think about our book. And in our book, which dinosaurs in the story were considerate? Was it the dinosaurs that were yelling and not waiting for their turn? No, it was the dinosaurs who were playing with friends and helping friends, right? I think so. Now, friends, you have in your homework packet a little journal that looks like this. And in your journal, I want you to write or draw a picture of a way that we can be considerate at school. And then I want you to share a picture with me of what you drew, and we can share all of our ideas of ways that we can be considerate at school, okay? All right, I'll see you soon, friends. Have a great day.